Hi, everyone.
Hi, friends.
This is so fun. We are back together again. We are almost done with the summer readathon. That is so crazy that we're almost finished. Look how far we are. Chapter 11.
Only one more.
Yeah, we've almost read the whole thing.
It's so exciting.
We hope you've loved it so far.
We have.
We're talking about truth, and we all picked something a little bit different that we want to be thinking about. So, Sister Spanos, you start us off.
Okay. So at the beginning, in the introduction for this chapter, it says, you showed that you value truth as you seek learning. And I'm going to talk about the secular learning, because we can learn whatever thing we want in this world. And there are so many things that are wonderful, right, that you want to learn.
Just for fun, before you even go farther, I think it would be so fun to say, what is something either you are learning right now or you want to learn over the next, we get to have a little break for the next 1 month.
Yes.
And so if you could learn to do anything in our 1 month, what would it be? I have one, so I'll say mine.
Okay.
already.
Yes, you start.
And then that way you both have time to be thinking. But one thing that I want to do, and I went and bought myself a little tiny cross stitch. And I'm going to learn how to do a little cross stitch during my 1
That's
month
good.
off. That will be so fun. And guess what it's going to be? The Statue of Liberty, and I'm going to give it to Grace. Nobody tell her. It's a secret.
That's fun.
New York, New
It's
York.
so good.
Okay, so mine is I like to cook and bake, and I found some line in my family history going back to Spain, and I want to learn some specific dishes from Spain,
That's so fun.
from the, how do you say, Países Vascos, from the Basque countries.
Oh, and,
Ice
and
countries.
meanwhile, Andrea is such a good cook. This
She
is what
is.
you maybe don't know about Andrea, but it is so true.
I don't know how you can get better. They're so good. And I just called my daughter this morning, and we were talking about going on a hike. I've never hiked Mount Timpanogos, which is right in my backyard. And so I
Are
told
you
her,
gonna for real do that?
I am gonna. We're gonna do
We need a
a
picture.
few small hikes before, maybe hike the Y, be right by BYU,
Oh my
and some other hikes that she
That is so
recommended.
brave.
But she was in soccer in high school, and she used to run
To the
up
Y.
to the top. No, to the top of Timp.
What?
Her soccer team every year. That was something they did. So she's really good at it. But I said that's something I want to do this summer.
Okay.
So we'll
Send,
return a report.
send us a picture
Yeah,
from the top.
because you're not going to believe it unless I send you a picture.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And I love it. Sometimes what you learn is hard. You're
Yes.
learning
Oh,
a hard
yes.
thing. Mine is not.
Yours
hard.
is fun.
Mine is relaxing. I'm just going to be sitting in the shade.
Well, I'm.
Well, one example that I love is Joseph Smith, that we always said that, well, he didn't have much education at the beginning, because then he studied Hebrew, also Greek and Latin, and also geography and other things. And he wanted to study these languages because he wanted to understand better the Bible, all the translations.
I
That's a great
always think to
example.
myself, I want to learn Hebrew and Greek because the Old Testament is written in from Hebrew, and the New Testament is written usually from Greek. And so that is why he would have been so fascinated in those.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I love this quote from Elder Nielsen. He said, learning about nutrition will help you remain healthy. Learning interpersonal skills will help you minimize conflicts with others. Learning discipline will help you master your time. Learning math will help you budget your money so you can use it wisely. So we can learn other things, all sort of things that will help us, ourselves,
Yes.
our families, and also our communities.
Yeah. I love that he takes what is that subject that you might study and just like helps us see, oh, this actually would be
Broadens it.
useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, one of my favorite parts starts right in the very top paragraph. And it talks about part of valuing truth and holding on to truth is bravely standing for what you know is right, even if you have to stand alone. And I think that is such an important thing to remember, that sometimes truth becomes so precious to us, and we've learned from it, and it's changed us. It's precious to us, that then when we see someone else maybe who doesn't value it the same way we do, it gives us an opportunity to actually enter in and stand up for what we know, for what we believe. And I think about this story. Grace came home from high school one day, and she said, "You're not going to believe what happened in the halls today." And their school was so crowded with people, and it's an indoor school. And so when you walk from class to class, there are just so many people walking. And she was walking down the hall, and there was this boy walking in front of her, and she could see in front of him there was this big scuffle going on. There was a lot going on, and papers were flying everywhere. And as she got closer, she realized there was this group of boys that had a Bible, and they were tearing the pages out of it, and they were throwing it all around the hallway, and stepping on the papers. And Grace said, as I was watching, I was thinking to myself, why are they doing that? But she kind of was moving to go around the other way. And she said, and then I saw this boy go right up to them and get down on his knees. And he didn't say a word. He just started gathering the pages. And the boys started yelling at him. And he just kept gathering. And she said, eventually it made the boys so mad, they threw the book at him and kicked him. And then they walked out of the door. And by then, Grace had gotten up to him. And so she knelt down and started also picking up these papers. And then she turned to this boy, and this is my favorite part of the story. She said to him, "I'm so sorry that just happened to you." And then he said, "I'm not." And he said, "I have been praying. I didn't know if I was brave enough to go on a mission, and I've been praying for an opportunity to stand up for what I believe. And right when this happened, I knew this was my opportunity to testify what I believed with my actions." And I love that thought that sometimes you show that you value truth as you bravely stand for what you know is right, even if you have to stand alone. And I just think that's a really powerful thing.
Oh, I love that.
It is.
That's beautiful. What a great story. Well, I wanted to focus on the questions and answers. It says, is it wrong to have questions about the church, and how can I find answers? And it gives kind of enumerates the experience of Joseph Smith and how he answered or received answers to his questions. And I love this thought that God cares about teenagers in times of trouble, that came out of the Grove. But also this, I've had questions and things that I've been concerned about, things that I have studied and tried to be at peace about. And I've come to this conclusion that not understanding is not the same as not believing. Because while I may not understand everything, I can still choose to believe in Jesus Christ. And that's helped me. In fact, I heard a friend once explain it like this. He said, if you looked out into your backyard and it was all weeds growing up in kind of areas that were more dry, but you had one spot over in the corner that was flourishing. It was, the grass was green, and maybe there were flowers there. And you went over, and every day you took care of that spot. You nurtured it. You weeded it. You watered it. You held on to that area and that spot that you knew was growing, that was strong. And he said, that's like our testimony sometimes, that we may have just a few things that we understand perfectly or believe in and have had experience with. So we're going to hold on to that ground, and maybe bit by bit we can extend that as our knowledge and our testimony grows. And once, years ago, when I was working in the stake, our Stake Young Women's program, I was asked by our stake president to speak at a Morningside. And I was excited because I had a couple of kids that went to the high school. I don't know how excited they were, but I was excited. But this is what he asked me. He said, I want you to speak about the moment you knew you had a testimony, the moment you received a testimony. And I remember after I hung up the phone, yes, I actually hung up a literal phone, I thought to myself, I can't think of that moment. Then I had it really gave me pause because I couldn't think of the exact moment. And so I started to study testimony. And my favorite thing that I came across was a story of Spencer W. Kimball, the prophet. And he said that he had received a letter from his son who was on a mission asking about testimony. And this is what he said. He said, I believe that each experience that we have in the gospel, whether it's an experience with answered prayer or a feeling of peace or what are some of the other ones? A spiritual experience or acting on faith. He said each of these are like golden threads, like maybe paying your tithing or saying your prayers or, partaking of the sacrament, something that you've experienced that you think, I know that that's real. He said all of these golden threads gather together and become a tapestry of testimony. And that helped me so much. And he said, and as they grow or you put them together, it becomes strong. And I love that idea that we can have golden threads of testimony and holding on to those things that we have experienced and have a testimony of it. Even if there are these golden threads, God will help us weave those together to make a strong, solid testimony.
That's so good. I love as we think about each of these things that we start realizing we're going to learn new truths all through our life. That is part of who we are as children of God. And I love
That's exciting.
I was just going to say, I love the idea that we can find joy out of learning new things, each of us. And you're going to learn to cook. I'm going to learn to sew. You're going to learn to hike. That is going to be so fun. And that is part of what brings joy into our lives is that opportunity. And then I just wanted to go back to, because I've been looking for that one-liner in every single one of these. But one of my favorite parts of this truth section is the last promise, under promise blessings. And it says, when you stand up for the teachings of Jesus Christ, he stands with you. And then our favorite line, Jesus Christ is your strength. And then I love this. Others may not agree with your beliefs, but your courage and sincerity will be noticed. Whether or not others follow your example, your testimony, confidence, and faith in Christ will grow. And I love that thought about him standing with us as we go through this life. And in the moments when we're learning, in the moments when we have to courageously stand and testify, in the moments where we are discovering and adding to our testimony, whatever it is, he's with us. We don't stand alone. We stand with him. And why does it feel like there's so much power in that truth? I love the idea of that.
That's so good.
And we are walking with him.
Yeah. So maybe this week in your, as you're studying, as you're doing this last part of the readathon, maybe you will learn something new this week, or maybe you'll take the invitation to learn something new. And will you just write in the comments below this video, what is the one new thing that you are learning? Because what if it gives us something fun that we think, oh, I would actually love to learn that too.
Or a
That'd be
better
so
idea than hiking.
I'm
going to do it. I'm going to do it.
It's good. You're going to be so good. We are going to be cheering you on from the shade.
While you're crossing.
And giving you water as you are.
Yes, it'll be so good. Okay, have a good week, everyone.
We love you so much.